Question. Is it just me or do anybody else think that this Puffy case is too gross to follow? Matter of fact, I know it ain't just me because I seen a post. I'll find it in a minute. I mean, every post is, every thumbnail is peed on and rubbed, peed in the mouth and shot on his chest and rubbed it in and what, bruh. I feel like a kid too young to hear all this. This is wild business. And I didn't use the pause button because it means exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what it sounds like. That's wild business. I mean, a lot of people will say, but that's not illegal, that's just freaky. This is why I feel like our country failed us. I mean, salute to those who mean us well, but instead of teaching us all of the lies they taught us and all of the necessary stuff they taught us, why didn't they teach us like basic understanding of law? Why they let us go out into this world not knowing what's illegal and what ain't illegal? And we just running around here, young teenagers. You understand what I'm saying? Send niggas off to college with all these hormones and no understanding of what could actually get you locked up pertaining to your hormones. Because a lot of people do a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, bro, like, everybody is lying in the dating game, right? Some niggas love lying, some people love lies, and some are both, right? I don't want to put this on just one gender, because, bruh. So, niggas be keeping it fake all the time, right? All in the name of getting some buns. Or, on the other end, some action. The men be keeping it fake, the women be keeping it fake. And then, before you know it, smash, right? Now they've been before smash a few times, and now you in a relationship. You done got snuck. Mad dudes I know been wifed up without their consent. You understand what I'm saying? And mad chicks I know have been have been have fell for the, what do they call it? What's the word they say? One of them niggas would date you because they a homeless sexual, right? They done fell for all of that, right? See all the red flags, thought they was at Six Flags, right? Whatever. But then they end up in a relationship based on wild lies, right? So now you look at the situation that Puffy is in, and you hearing all of these, these things because like the situations, all of the lies that people tell are, they never appear in court. You understand? Or else damn near every relationship would end in a court case, right? He lied, but you know, I guess that's not against the law. But when you're in a position of power, I mean, like you own a label, you some producer, if you in some position where you can advance somebody professionally, and then you go ahead and tell them that you will hook them up if they hook you up with a little something something. That's illegal. But we didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, who did? I'm just saying. that wasn't made clear to us before we was running around here. Before we was let out into the world at 18 or 17, if you graduate, depending on where your birthday fall in a year, and if you graduated on time or not, you were just out in the world with all these hormones, right? With no understanding of the law, none. So now you got niggas running around. What? People like, yo, I didn't know, you know, doing this. Like, you fly a chick out, blah 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 blah. You meet a chick. She live in Florida. Chick one trying to get flued out. You flew the chick out. I didn't know you was trafficking. You might have been. You might most. I mean, like I think, because I've never been a person who was, so terrified of the law that I wouldn't fight for my freedom and all of that. So, in the process of fighting for my freedom in as many times as I had to do so, I learned that a judge ain't stupid. A judge might be racist, in which case you in trouble if you're black, right? But a judge ain't stupid. You know what I mean? You can't. I don't think like DAs play stupid. Sometimes they be stupid too, but they play stupid. When I say that, what I mean when I say that is they will. They will know a case is bullshit, right? And they'll put the charges on you. For whatever reason they do that, they will still do that, and they'll be in court trying to sell that case to a judge. You know what I'm saying? But I've been in enough situations where a judge looked at the DA and was like, "Come on, B, you expect me?" You understand what I'm saying? I've been in enough situations to say that. Now, if the judge is on some bullshit, then you good luck. But so you have that, right? So, but if you having you having big parties and you repeatedly having people come up to the blah, you know what I'm saying? You flying in action, this, that, and the third for you're flying in all of the action. You got you're supplying all the D-rugs. You know what I'm saying? And people in there getting forced. Yeah, that's illegal. Like when you if somebody agrees to something, right? Schmexual. And then they change their mind. Shorty could have promised you the buns, right? She could have promised you the buns, and then you get down to the moment she changed her mind. No matter how wrong you may feel like she is, like you could be in your feelings. I understand. No matter how wrong she feel like you feel like she is, or how wrong that may or may not actually be, whatever. If you press the issue and it's illegal, period. And I mean physically pressing the issue. You try to, force the issue. It's illegal, bruh. It is. You understand what I'm saying? Slipping chicks Mickeys in they drinks, slipping the E-pill or whatever, and that's illegal, bro. All of it. So I'm not blaming all of being a freak ain't illegal. I'm not blaming y'all. I'm blaming the system because the system failed us all. You know what I mean? By the time, look, you could be 15 years old, do something, and be charged as an adult, but they ain't never teach you no law. You offer I got a question though, right? You offer somebody the opportunity to advance their career, right? But if I'll give you I'll produce this record for you. if you go on a date with me, or if you give me a little bit of that maniac brainiac, right? That's illegal, right? I have a question. Is it legal? Is why? Like I said, I don't know either, right? Why is it not, or is it illegal when it goes the other way around? I asked a girl, could I take her out one time recently? I was like, well, let me tell you. I don't know if I don't think I asked her to. Now I wasn't all disrespectful. I ain't asked her to smash, right? I asked her to take her out, and she was like, yeah, you could take me out if you give me a verse. Whoa, 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 wait a second. Yeah, she rapped. If it's wrong one way, ain't it wrong the other way? Do I have a case? I mean, I would never press the issue. I'm it's not who I am, but do I have a case? I know I got a case in another situation where somebody I used to work with was on my nuts. She was only working with me. I suspect she was only working with me because she was on my nuts, and because most of you niggas is easy. You understand what I'm saying? She thought that, just the fact that she was on my nuts was enough, and she wanted to work for me, she wanted to work with, it wasn't, right? Because the attraction just wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, all right, once she got that shit through her head, like, oh nah, this nigga dead ass, he ain't just lip servicing. He dead ass. I can't work with you no more, B. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's the case. But anyway, so it does the verse for the chick. Anyway, nah, I'm just playing. I never did the verse. I didn't. You know what I mean? I felt nah, I just didn't. It's my verses. I sell these. So you want me to buy you dinner and buy you a verse from the Rock Ness Monster? You know how much those cost? Anyway. Anyway. So that's my insight on the Puffy case, because these details are crazy. You know what I'm saying? Look. I seen something, I screenshotted it. Look. Can y'all see this? I just don't be working with my phone. Everybody else be doing that shit. I just read it. So Diddy case too freaky for me. Just let me know if he guilty or not. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, B. You understand what I'm saying? Because all of those things all of those situations that I laid out are very basic. They happen. They happen. It's just just a little, just to spread a little understanding of what is illegal. When they're like, you being freaky ain't illegal. Yeah, I know it's not, but doing certain things within that just happen to be. And I'm not saying whether all of these, well, I guess all of these things should be illegal, but I'm not saying whether I know it gets to certain points where the water gets murky, and that's why I feel like they should have taught us that, B. You know what I mean? Nigga gotta be. You could drink when you 18. No, you could. What is it? You could. They let you in an adult club when you 18. You could drink when you 21, right? They let you do all of these things with all of these hormones, and they ain't teach you nothing about the law, though. And that's whack. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. Yeah. So if in case y'all was wondering, I know y'all probably wasn't, because for whatever reason, it's enough people covering it. I mean, not for what, because there's enough people covering it. But that's why I haven't been talking about this Puffy. The case. I mean, they got him. I mean, he locked up. They got him in trial right now. And you know the detail, like his family, like people kids, adults, they getting up, walking out the courtroom at all kind of salacious sections of the situation. Yeah, B, I feel like one of them. Anyway, welcome to the nation. I'm your host, tour guide, president, and the king around here. I'm the landlord, owner, tenant, janitor. I'm monster damn floor with you. If you don't follow the rules, the rules are you gotta like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. If you're trying to be a taxpayer, citizen of the nation, leave us a super thanks or a cash app. We actually prefer the cash app, but y'all do y'all. Cash app tag will be in the description along with the Bandcamp link, which is there for all of y'all who would rather hear me rap than hear me yap. You know what I mean? My new mixtape is there. It's called Nonviolent Rocco. Faban. All the mixtapes are there, all the way back to Shell Shock. So get involved to get a job. When you're doing your commenting and all of that, do your spell checks. Don't let auto correct you. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll get you deleted and stuff like that. You know, don't they spell things wrong, auto correct. You know what I'm saying? Things like helter skelter. Don't do the talk to it's not helter skelter. It's helter skelter, spelled with an AH at the end of the words, not an ER. Monster is spelled with an A, not an ER. You know what I'm saying? Rock has a C and a K in it. Just the C will not get your comment pushed through. You know what I'm saying? It'll get you deleted. Unless you're a crip, you know what I'm saying? You know, in which case you gotta put a couple of extra identifying factors in your comment. Throw a little cuz something in there. You know what I mean? And for the love of all things decent, it's BCC, not BBC. Pause protesters, get your ass out of here. I took it light on the pause button today because everything paused, anything that may have been paused out in this conversation, this whole conversation is paused. But everything probably means exactly what it sounded like. So, if you made it to the end of this video, let me get 4 justice. You know the scales, justice scales. Yeah, let me get 4 of those. 4 of them kings.